y'all. So I thought I would get me a glass of tea and sit out here on the swing for a minute and talk to you guys about what we have gotten done on the lake cottage and what we still have to do. It's very hot out here. Typical Texas summer. We're in the middle of June and it's in the 90s and very humid. You see the sun is behind me right now along with my neighbor's boat, but I'm going to walk around on the outside and show you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, I didn't clean anything up before I started this video, so whatever it is, and some of it doesn't look very pretty, but I just wanted to talk about what we have gotten done since we bought the house and what our plans are for the future. So let's get started on this little tour. Alright, so I'm going to start on the front of the house. I'll put a before picture up to show you guys what it looked like when we first bought the house. Now, we have put in a new window, and I have painted the gable part up here. Now, what we have left to do is to replace this window. I call them prison windows because they're so high up I can barely put my chin on the windowsill. And all of this siding has to be replaced. And then we have to put a skirting along the front here. That's what's left on the front. Now, keep in mind, when we bought this house, there was no plants. There was nothing but a crappy looking yard. This is a Confederate rose hibiscus that I had planted. I think what's really odd about this Confederate rose hibiscus is the way the roots have done in this container here. Don't know why it ended up like that. The chickens are always digging it up, so maybe that's why. But anyway, we added this saw blade that came from my cousin's sawmill. And we have some plants here that I just planted and can't remember the name of them right now. Trumpet something or other, I think. So, all of these cannas were not here in the archway. And that's where I grow my cucumbers. These crepe myrtles were not here. My goldfish pond, which will eventually get finished. It does have goldfish in it, but Tommy's going to build a casing for it to make it actually look attractive. Of course, the shed was not here, and the azaleas were not here. And of course, the flag. Walking back here, see if I got any cucumbers. It's easier to see on the other side. Yes, got one there, and there's one. So I've got at least 4 there. Got one that started here. I see one there. There. It's gonna be time to make pickles again pretty soon. So over here, the elephant ears and the fig tree we planted, and we put this rock border here, which you can still see some of. Now let's go to the side of the house. So this is probably the worst part left to do. So we did replace the roof fairly early on with metal of the main part of the house. And we recently replaced the roof with shingles on this part of the house. That window has to be replaced. That one's staying. And that one has to be replaced. And all of this siding has to be replaced. The reason we have not replaced this, I don't know if it shows up on camera, but there's a dip right there. And we need to see this is a pier and beam house. There isn't anything supporting from there to there. So we need to get the house lifted and work on supporting this section of the house before we put any new siding on this side. So that's what's left there. And on this side, we just need to re-side it and put that new window in. This is not our cat, technically, but he does hang out here and will never go away. We built an outdoor shower to use when we tear out the bathroom. It's currently housing my grandchildren's toys because a tree limb fell on it during a storm, and we haven't torn out the bathroom yet. So I'm going to have to put new shower curtains and stuff back up when we do actually use this. This bush was not here. Cannot remember the name of it right now. And the chicken coop was not here. We added the chicken coop. Now what's left to do here is we need to build a well house around the well, because that can't stay like that. None of this was here. This is a sugar cane I have growing. Have some lilies growing here, and we put in this little seating area for our little marshmallow area. We like to roast marshmallows and hot dogs with the grandkids. We built the stand for our canoe. That's where I water the chickens for right now. We put in this swing, and here's the back side of the house. So what's going on over here is we've replaced this window, this siding, and I painted the gable. I had dug a trench and put rocks in it, sort of a French drain, but not really. And you can see why. You see how the dirt just splashes up on there? Well, when we bought the house, mud was all the way up to about there, and it was a mess. This was all rotted. So as you can see, when it rains, the dirt's just getting pushed back. Over here, it's not the case because I put this here. So the idea was to put the planter all along here to act as a retaining wall to keep the mudslide from happening that happens right here. This is the side of the garage. We replaced all of this siding, and we replaced the roof. I still need to paint the trim. So then when we're done with that, we're going to use this metal to put a skirting around the garage to keep this from rotting again, and the same stuff right along there as a skirting with vents to keep this from happening. You see that dirt? That's ugly, but to also keep that from rotting. Hi, kitty kitty. And here's this part of the house where we replaced this siding, but it hasn't been painted yet. Still need to work on the soffits and the fascia here. There was a window unit through the wall here, so this whole piece of hardy has to be replaced. We did completely replace the air conditioning in this house. Everything was replaced. We tore everything out and completely redid it. So that's all fairly, 5 years old, I think. So that there was that. And yes, we have that corner. I was seeing if we had the boards to put in that corner temporarily, but we just said forget it. But anyway, moving on, we built this carport type area that we used for entertaining. Really, we don't use it as a carport. Tommy does store a bunch of his pool junk under here until I make him throw it away. We put in the swing, of course, and this window was replaced, or put in. I don't even remember if there was a window there. And all of this siding was replaced, and we added the shutters on the sides along with the dartboard that hardly ever gets used. I did forget to show y'all the pergola itself, which we built using reclaimed materials. So this gives us a place to sit out here. That's why all those chairs are there, because we had family over, and The chairs are still there and haven't been folded up and put away, but that pergola cost us about less than $100 to make using reclaimed materials from a deck we tore down. So this is where Tommy does all his cutting. So it's just going to stay like that until he finishes all the projects, which will be never probably till we sell. So moving on. My roses that Tommy bought me have been doing well. They're dying off, losing their blooms now. But it's been doing a lot better since I dug it up and put it in this planter. And I do have sweet potatoes growing right there. Tommy doesn't like sweet potatoes, but I do. Now that leaves the porch that we redid, completely redid. And it's probably one of my favorite parts of the house. We stained the concrete that was here. And I can sit right there on in my rocking chair in the mornings and look out when my truck's not there at all the birds and wildlife that like to go to the lake that starts right there. So anyway, here we will have to put that skirting and that skirting there as well. We need to put the shutters back up because I did repaint this wall. And we have trim to put up in various places. We have, so Tommy built this carport, but he never trimmed the metal. I noticed the other day, there's a piece of metal sticking out here. I'm like, hey honey, you never cut that metal even. So he still needs to fix that. Things that most YouTubers don't show you are the unfinished projects. There's Tommy's orange tree, which wasn't doing so hot, as you can see. But now it is. It's getting new leaves. I shouldn't have touched that and then that, but whatever. Anyway, he does have 2 little bitty oranges growing on there. Now, as far as the front of the garage, all of this siding has to be replaced. We did replace the garage doors long ago because the other ones were falling apart. But we have not replaced the trim, and we have not replaced the siding down this side that goes to the golf cart, which we don't want to talk about what Tommy's using it for right now, which is mostly storage. But anyway, so this has to be replaced, and the metal will go along the bottom there to keep it from rotting. This side didn't do as bad as the other side. It wasn't rotten like the other side, but you can see what still needs to be done over here. And I can't wait to get the whole garage looking as good as that one side does. So I think that about covers it for what's left to be done before we sell the house. Lots of siding, lots of painting, and the skirting, and the well house. Did I name it all? I don't know. When I'm walking around, I have an entire list of things that need to be done before we can put the house on the market. But when I'm out here and I want to talk to you guys about it, suddenly my mind just goes blank. But anyway, it's been a long day. So anyway, I think that's about it. If I think of anything else, I'll put it up on the screen. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this weekend or this weekend's Father's Day, so probably not this weekend. But the next weekend, hopefully we'll start getting this metal skirting up. And we can show you how we're going to be doing that, and at least get the part that we've already replaced, get that to where it doesn't rot while we're waiting to replace that side of the house. So thank you guys for coming along on this little reminder tour of what we have gotten done and a glimpse into what we do plan on getting done. If you're not subscribed to our channel, please do so. Please hit the like button. Leave me a comment on what you think about what we have gotten done so far. And I don't know, we enjoy reading our comments for the most part. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.